AskReddit by Silent Zebra. People who had traumatic childhoods. What's something you do as an adult that you hadn't realized was a direct result of the trauma? Serious, NSFW. Attention. Serious, tag notice. Jokes, puns, and off-topic comments are not permitted. https://www.reddit.com/r/wiki/index #wiki_rule_6 -closed in any comment parent or child. Parent comments that aren't from the target group will be removed, along with their child replies. Report comments that violate these rules. Posts that have few relevant answers within the first hour, and posts that are not appropriate for the serious tag will be removed. Consider doing an AMA request instead. Thanks for your cooperation and enjoy the discussion. I am a bot, and this action was performed automatically. Please, contact the moderators of this subreddit. Message compose !to =r AskReddit if you have any questions or concerns. Always being apologetic or never being able to make decisions. If I don't make decisions, then I can't make the wrong choice. And if I don't make the wrong choice, my friends or loved one won't be disappointed. And if they are not disappointed, they won't hate me. Language is full of tripwires for me. I cannot tolerate vagueness, because it has been used against me so much. Lack of detailed 100% transparency makes me anxious and paranoid. Getting overly attached to people way too quickly, which usually pushes them away and just destroys me over and over again. This really hits home for me. The lack of affection, empathy, and attention from my childhood causes me to attach to partners very quickly, and it absolutely ruins me when they break up with me. I go from so elated and happy to depressed and broken, which is where I'm at now. I'm sorry you're dealing with this, and no, you're not the only one. Therapy is helping. Self-doubt. Need for affirmation. Can't take criticism well. I spend most of my life being a good test taker. Now I find it difficult to have patience with myself while I struggle to pick up new things. I just learned the following. As a grown-ass adult, I have attachment issues. I don't set boundaries. I am very aware of a person's mood. Like I can read a person's body and expression very clearly. To add to this, I am hyper aware of my surroundings, as if I am prepared to get jumped. I am always trying to please everyone, even those that are mean to me, and I am empathetic to a fault. The list is never ending, and I just learned all of this within the past year. I realized recently that a lot of the cruel things that were said to me have embedded themselves into my regular vocabulary under the guise of self-deprecating humor. Well, fuck. This thread is getting too relatable. I used to loathe physical touch. After much contemplation, I realized I didn't trust anyone enough to make myself vulnerable, even for a hug. I can definitely relate there. I've grown more accustomed to hugs, but I wonder how difficult it will be for me when I get into a serious relationship. Adrenaline dump at the slightest hint of conflict. Lol, I made a minor and easily fixable mistake yesterday at work that took about 3 hours to figure out how to solve, and I'm pretty sure my heart didn't stop racing once. I was so tired afterwards. Yes, I'm in therapy, lol. Yelling and door slamming still gets me, at 37. Even if I know I didn't do anything wrong, a slammed door, even an accidental one, makes me jump out of my skin. Also, speed reading. My mother helped me to learn to read. Her method was, one wrong word, one slap. I learned to read fast, so I can get away quicker. Same FR. I hate people yelling and screaming. I get startled so easily when people do that around me. Not sure if this is just really weird, but at work, whenever I ask for a day off, every job I've had, I had given a detailed description of why and the purpose of needing it off. Finally, at my current job my direct supervisor would keep telling me, I don't need to know why. I did some reflection and realized that, in my youth, if I didn't explain things as far as being absent, feeling sick, needing to go to the doctor, if I didn't have a good enough explanation, I was completely disregarded. It got ingrained in me to find the best possible reasoning behind nearly every choice I ever made. Me calling off sick today FR. Had a whole paragraph typed up and was like, JFC, you don't have to do this. Finally let myself delete it. But still ended up apologizing for calling out. Something I do that I recently learned other people don't do is constantly pay attention to my surroundings. I listen for footsteps, doors opening and closing, people's voices, water running in the pipes, cars pulling into the driveway, on and on. As a kid I needed to know who was in my house and what they were doing. Deleted. I'm insanely flinchy, like I get startled super easily. People try to jump out and scare me, and they laugh when I jump back. I wish they knew, as it hurts sometimes knowing why it always gets me. Had to have a talk with my friends about punching slapping gestures a while back. Took a long time to work up the courage, but luckily I have awesome friends. I keep saying sorry to every little inconveniences or anytime I feel like I'm bothering someone. This coupled with the fact that I feel like my existence is bothering, and no one can stay friends with me for too long without wanting to leave. To this day I still sleep on my stomach. When I failed the 4th grade my dad was beyond pissed at his son being a failure. He told my mom to leave the house and had me drop my pants and take my whipping like a man. He beat me so long and so hard that the belt cut into my flesh and there were chunks that were hanging loose. I literally had to take a pillow to school the next week to sit down on. The teacher was concerned, so she called the principal, vice principal and 2 other teachers as witnesses and had me drop my pants in the boys' restroom. They were horrified but didn't report anything. When I told them why I was beaten, they told me to study harder to stop this from happening again. That was decades ago, but I still sleep on my stomach and never fail at anything I try to do. So many adults failed you. I'm so sorry. I can't have music up loud, like above normal speaking volume, and if I have headphones and they're really low volume or I'm only wearing one earbud, just in case there's someone trying to get my attention, I am terrified of being called for and not hearing it. Also, I apologize for absolutely everything and am a people pleaser to a toxic degree. I'm also terrified of being called for and not hearing it, but I also love loud music. I'm also constantly worried that my music is annoying the other people in my house, so I like to use headphones, but then here comes my worries that I'll miss someone trying to get my attention. The people I live with and spend my time with are wonderful people and I have no reason to be afraid of them, but growing up with parents with incredibly short tempers trained me to be the way that I am. 4 years after I would get groceries, I would walk through the kitchen and stare at all the food I bought. I used to save a lot of food just in case, but it ended up rotting because I would never eat it, saving for another time. I do not prioritize myself, be it health, time, or necessities. Everyone else in my life is ahead of me in the queue. This makes me seem incredibly helpful. Being helpful allows me to be present without being a target. Being helpful allows me to avoid my own problems because I'm too busy helping everyone else with theirs. Being helpful allows me to feel valuable instead of expendable. The only time I ever really take care of myself is if I know it will impact my ability to take care of someone else. It's the only way I've found to make healthier choices, and it's still barely enough. Being helpful allows me to be present without being a target. Being helpful allows me to avoid my own problems because I'm too busy helping everyone else with theirs. Being helpful allows me to feel valuable instead of expendable. Damn. NGL. This struck a nerve. Depersonalizing. Derealizing. Losing bits of me. For me, it's now trying to figure out who I am because everything I worked for and tried to be was for other people. I don't even know whom he is. I really hate it when people physically touch me. The phrase "I'm a hugger" sent waves of fear down my back when I was young still makes me sweat bullets to this day. Being hyper aware of anyone experiencing negative emotions in the room. Feeling someone else's anger or depression very severely and feeling as though I have to be the one to calm things down and keep the peace. This one is me. I feel negative emotions from people so easily and I always assume it's directed at me and I have to fix the situation because it's obviously my fault. This and walking on eggshells, never rocking the boat, never questioning direction. I've grown a lot in all these areas in recent years, but it's an uphill battle. Asking for permission to do literally anything, double checking that I was doing the right thing, and always second guessing myself. Like to an abnormal level. Same here, led me straight into an abusive relationship. Adding apologizing for everything to this too. Therapy has helped a bit. Jumping at sudden noises, apologizing profusely for everything, sometimes apologizing for apologizing. People pleasing excessively, not valuing my worth, and an overwhelming fear that if I was ever my truest self, I would be left alone. I was recently diagnosed with CPTSD, and it definitely makes sense. I realized I'm toxically independent. I have an extremely hard time asking for help because I never had it. Exact same here. My mindset is I'd rather learn how to do it myself than inconvenience someone else with it. Good in some ways because I've learnt a lot of new skills. Terrible in other ways. I am 54. Always have it in the back of my mind that anyone that says they love me has an ulterior motive. Edit. I made this comment while on first break at work at about 8 AM or so, and I'm just now, at nearly 5 PM. being shocked and saddened on how many replies and upvotes there are. We all deserved better when we were kids, didn't we? I hope that all of you find the true love you very much deserve and never, ever, have reason to doubt that love. I saw a Mike Tyson clip a while ago where he was asked what life has taught him. He said, "Not everybody who hurts you is your enemy and not everybody who helps you is your friend." Stuck with me. Eating very fast. I'm in my late 30s and I still have this problem. When we were given food, we usually had to fight siblings as there was never enough for us. At holidays, specific around Thanksgiving, I lost track of how many times my stepdad would get angry and throw the entire turkey dinner away. For good measure, he would spray the entire garbage can with bleach so we couldn't pick it out of the trash. So when you got food in my house, you would eat it as fast as you could before it was stolen from you. Don't worry though, had mountains of Pepsi products though. Anytime my mom brought home anything from the grocery store that was remotely good, my stepdad would take it and hide it. He had a whole mess of trauma from his youth and one of those things was food insecurity. Mom once bought a 12-pack of Dr. Pepper in cans and he concealed them all over the house. We treated it like the world's most fucked up scavenger hunt. I think my favorite hiding spot of his was in the toilet tank. Have guilt when spending any amount of money. Me too. I remember when I was 10 or 9. Can't remember for sure. I got $20 for Christmas. My sister took me to Walmart and I bought a PS2 game. When we got home my dad told me that he doesn't think I'm smart with money and that I don't take it serious. Like, shit, I was 10 and just wanted a game to play on my PS2. What was I supposed to save it for? My mortgage? I now worry so much about money and that I'm wasting it or that I'll be poor and unable to afford food or any bills. That's one reason I'm terrified to move. I only just realized this about a month ago. When I was a kid, I did poorly on a spelling test due to being sick. A couple days later, my mom found out about it. I was raised by my grandparents so she hadn't been kept fully up to date. At the restaurant when my mother found out about the test, she grabbed a fork and jabbed me hard in the side. My grandparents did pretty much nothing in response. To this day, close to 4 decades later, I still spell random words in my head, because failing a spelling test was worthy of public stabbing. This is so random and ugly. I'm sorry this happened to you. It's always pretty scary when you go through threads like these and realize like 70% of the things is stuff you do too. Yeah, I literally cry for everyone and want to go back in time and help them when they really needed it. Zone out. It took me years to realize that it was disassociation and not just me being a space cadet. I was zoning out when upset or having flashbacks. I disassociated for years and years. Something minor goes wrong because I made a mistake. I think it is all over, ruined, and everything is my fault. I feel I should just go crawl into a hole and die. Just thought on this again, and I guess that's why I like animal rescue videos. Mother cats raising an abandoned pup. The after part, the transformation that some love and care bring. No one did it for me, but it warms my heart to see it done for another, no matter that they're not my species.